Well, he's the one that is principally responsible for $8 billion plus of taxpayers' money being spent on this election. He, as CEO, Chief Elections Officer, is responsible for running this entire election. GCOM, we have to understand, they're like the board. They are above him, but they don't do the day-to-day running of the election. That's his job. So he is in fact saying that what I have done is I have taken $8 billion of taxpayers' money and I have cocked this up. Because what I can't say is that I have run a credible election. Then really and truly the police should be speaking to him. And the police should be asking why and how this has occurred. Because that is the grossest disregard and an abandonment of your duties for which you were hired to do. So what he should be instructed to do is please total the numbers, please give us the allocation of seats in accordance with the law. And then GCOM would have to hold their meeting to deliberate on it, and we should have a result. They should make it very clear that he has overstepped his boundary.
I was reading through the report. If you look at the amount of people that they claim were out of the jurisdiction, the jurisdiction would potentially mean what? You're out of the country. I think that's what I interpret it to be. But when you look at the substance of the matter, is that many of those things were false. My community, for example, had 6 people who are supposedly out of the jurisdiction. Yet only one, 2 of them were out. And one of them is my cousin, who has been sick and been in the community for however long. When we started off this process, we knew on the 6th of May, when we walked into Arthur Chung Convention Center, I think I uttered the words that this year is going to be mass chaos. Not only the recount process, but everything that is part of the recount process. And I said that because I also made the statement that they could not address the Mingo issue. They could not rig the results. So what they will do is try to undermine the electoral process. And that is precisely what they were trying to do with this report.
We know that the PPP has won the election because we were there from day 1 to day 33 and 34 to see these counts happen. And it is very unfair to know that when Mr. Lowenfield come out with a report twisting everything around, saying that the PNC now win the election. You know, it's ridiculous. Now we talk about Mingo and Region 4, but it's not Mingo to be blamed so much. It's Mr. Lowenfield. From day 1, before this election started, before the nomination day, the Carter Center, the European Union, the OAS, every one of them come to my office. And we give them the same answer, that we do not believe in the GCOM because we saw them in action before. We were part of election before. So we see what they have done before. And it is very clear now that everything that we talked about GCOM is coming to pass. Lowenfield is the biggest crook this country has.
The truth is, my heart hurts. It's painful. When I speak to you, there are people suffering. Our country is without a government right now. People are jobless. People are without meals on their table. These parties that are singing this narrative, they don't care about our people. I'm speaking to you and there are tears in my eyes. How much longer will our nation go like this, without a parliament, without proper care? We cannot continue like this. And while they sing about it, they're not considering international sanctions. They're not considering that Venezuela could invade. They're not considering that we have coronavirus on our case. All they're thinking about is, listen, we have to be right. And even if we don't have evidence, we're going to go forward like this. We need a parliament. There is no budget. There is nothing to guide what goes forward in our country. We have a task force that is politically led by non-medical people. Everything is at a standstill right now. Our people are suffering, and I repeat, our people are suffering. More can be done. A government needs to be in place. Financial strategies needs to be passed by a parliament, and we need to find a way forward.